Yeah, it's all good. All right, boxing this week, 2022. Yeah, 22, which is a crazy number. Not very significant or anything, but 22 is a bit nuts. It's a big week. We've got a lot to talk about. It's fight week for Jack Catterall. We've got press conference to talk about. It was fight week for Adam Azim and Ahara Davies last week, along with Tszyu. And we've got a Fury Usyk press conference to go through. So we've got quite a lot. Paolo, how are you?
I'm good, man. Feeling 30. Feeling 30, man.
Feeling 30. How is it first week?
Dirty 30s. Hungover. Had a lot to do. Put boxing on the back burner, I'll be completely honest with you.
I think we both did.
But we've got so much to go through. But I also, before you do get into that, I do want to mention to people watching, we have some massive things coming out over the next 2 months. People don't even realise, yeah? So, yeah, just let me just say this quick, Connor. I feel it's got to be said. Usyk and Fury, we're either doing a live stream or we're on Combat Kings' podcast for their live.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Combat Kings are, get to know. Massive YouTube, MMA, boxing, everything. So we're doing that. Don't know yet. We'll confirm. And we're also merging. I think it's good to put importance to talk about. Oh, hang on. I've cut. Connor?
I thought you were good.
What's happened to my thing? Hang on. I'm freezing. Yeah, we've cut. I'm freezing. There's a technical issue. Connor, carry on reading it. I might have to rejoin. Carry on.
Right. Okay. I'm going to do the weekly roundup. So this week, like I said, we've got a lot to talk about. But February 22nd, there is likely a Riyadh season card. So Turkey Al-Sheikh. It is likely to be the Dubois-Joshua rematch with the Matchroom versus Queensbury 5v5 rematch underneath for February 22nd in Saudi. Not confirmed, but just that's the talk. And generally, these things are the way. When these things get rumoured now with Turkey and Saudi, that's normally correct. Naoya Inoue has already announced his next fight. He's fighting Sam Goodman as a mandatory on December 24th, so a little Christmas Eve present. He also met Turkey Al-Sheikh this week, and they had a very good meeting, apparently. So I imagine that from next year, Naoya Inoue might fight outside of Japan. I'm not one that really cares about that, but it would be nice if he could fight. I mean, to be fair, it'd be nice if he could fight in England because then I could go see him. That's really my only logic. And Lawrence Okoli has entered as a top 5 heavyweight for the WBC rankings, which kind of shows you how weird their rankings are. Because obviously he's champion at Bridgerweights, he's gone up and he's automatically, we are alone. I'll make myself. We'll do that. So Okoli, top 5 heavyweight already for WBC. It's a bit weird. In fairness, whilst we're waiting on Paolo, let's get those rankings up because that doesn't make sense to me. Who is he above? WBC rankings, right? Hello.
Sorry about that. Can you see me?
All right. Yeah, it's good. Right. So heavyweight rankings. Let's have a look at this. If it works, because the WBC website is rubbish. Right, yeah, so Lawrence Okoli is number 5 in WBC rankings. Number 6 is Anthony Joshua. Number 7 is Fabio Wardley. Hrgovic is down at 11. Otto Wallin, 13. Wilder, 14. Ruiz, 16. Jared Anderson, 17. Dillian White, 22, which is, I guess, inactivity, but... Jermaine Franklin, who has only ever lost to Anthony Joshua and then had the really close fight with Dillian White, sitting at 25th. Makhmudov is 28th. Oh, basically, the point is, why is Lawrence Okoli sat at 5th? It's a bit weird.
Is this the IBF?
WBC now, so money man.
Listen, I'm done with these boxing boards. I'm done with them. Just before I carry on, my picture's clear, yeah? I'm not like...
Yeah, it's good. Yeah? We're all good now.
If there's a technical issue, guys, I will just might have to rejoin on my phone, Connor. So if fine. I do cut out, pick up, and I'll get back. Yeah. Listen, WBC, shall we swear? No, let's not. WBC bad organisation in terms of just the way that people are. I don't know the way that things are dealt with. IBF as well. We can get onto that. I'm not surprised with their rankings. Lawrence Okoli's 5th because he's a WBC bridgerweight champion.
Yeah, but
that's the only reason.
Yeah, this still shouldn't be the case. He shouldn't be there above Joshua as well. Like above, hold on. So Daniel Dubois, who is now IBF champion, I didn't even think of him, is sat at. That can't be right, unless I'm missing it. Okay, we won't stay on this for too long, but I'm thinking I must be just like my eyes are deceiving me.
Yeah.
Because as far as I can tell, I can't see Daniel Dubois in the top 40.
But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised though, because if you look at the IBF, Tyson Fury is not in the top 15.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll get on to that, but that's correct. Yeah. So we're going to go to the boxing that happened already on the weekend, which is Azim versus Zahara Davis. But we're going to go from undercard up. Now, we sort of did predictions, and we spoke about Shannon Courtney a little bit. We spoke about her career path up to this. It's been a little bit hard to tell. She's just lost a fight that she really should have won.
Tough night.
Yeah.
I don't listen. I'm going to say something now though. Like, really, people need to understand. Shannon Courtney lost, but I don't think that. I think obviously because of what she's been through and everything that's happened with her personal life, you know, it's a setback, massive setback because you're on a big card. You wasn't really headlining it as well. It was on early doors.
No, she was world champion on the sort of before TV card.
So obviously she's lost a fight. It's a massive 10 steps back, I suppose, but I think she can recover. I think Boxer just got to steer her now the right way. I think she's signed to Boxer, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Or at least she's got some relationship with them.
She's got a deal in place, but tough night. But I do think Shannon Courtney is a good fighter. I think at some point we could see her fighting the counterpart that fought in the same way in Fred Hennessy. So, like, that's the fight they want to see at some point. And she was targeting world titles, but obviously Ebony Bridges is pregnant now. So I don't really know where that sits with her fighting. Again, obviously, they're the two targets that she has essentially for belts. Obviously, Ebony Bridges went to fight her rematch. She's lost. She used to fight the rematch to get hers back. But I don't know where she sits now. But they were two fights that I thought were really set up for Fran. But obviously, Fran, who fought on the card as well and got the win above Shannon Courtney. It's a strange one. Going back to, we'll talk about Fran in a minute, but going back to Shannon Courtney, I don't really know where she goes from here, Connor, in terms of straight away, but I do think she can come back from it.
She can. It's just tough, and it doesn't help the fact she's already now so low on these cards. I imagine the motivation is going to be a struggle because she's done the big upset win against Ebony Bridges, and she's almost peaked. If I don't, rude, but she's almost peaked. She's done TV shows. She's a bit of a celebrity now outside of boxing. She's got a good following. So it's kind of hard to see where she goes within boxing. Outside of boxing, she's absolutely fine. But it's where she wants to go. Let's talk about Francesca Hennessy because we were talking about that, and we were looking at her opponent, and especially with the build-up to fight week and the weigh-ins, I was looking at it going, okay, she's in there with somebody that really wants to beat her, and she made it, pretty easy. I don't want to say easy because it almost takes away from it, but as in, she made it, she won comfortably. That's all I want to say.
So, go on.
It was a really good win. I mean, that
shows
the level.
Her last two fights were really tough. Bearing in mind, let's not forget she's 5-0 now. She was 4-0 before that fight. She was 4-0 before that fight, 5-0. She's fairly new to professional boxing, and she's already making good development in her stead. As I said, the corner and the people that the boxing IQ of people she's got around her as well. you're talking about like even as a coach, like an outright British welterweight champion in Bradley Skeet. I mean, you've got Mick Hennessy, who's one of the, I would say, colossal figures within British boxing, as a dad, and obviously probably offering advice as well. And then obviously you've got, not to mention as well, the man himself, Peter Fury.
I mean, he was supporting.
He's there or thereabouts in their camp because of their close ties with the Hennessy's. There's so many people around her. Yeah, her brother, like I could keep going. Like her brother Michael as well, who's got a lot of experience boxing on shows. The guy was doing the Saudi. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was doing the Saudi cards before Saudi was Saudi. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. He was on some of the more weird ones in a way that they were kind of there, but yeah, weird.
But he's been on big shows as well, Michael Hennessy. Like people don't realize couple of big shows. She's got a lot of people around her. What I'm trying to say is that she's progressing very well. She's boxing tough opponents. She's not in there with punching bags, and that's one thing. I think she said in an interview that the last thing she wants to be put, she was talking to Peter Fury, which is Phil, but she doesn't want to be in there with punching bags. She wants to be in there with people that can give her a problem. This fighter come to fight, and I didn't realize, but her opponent was once fighting in UFC.
Really?
Yeah, I looked this up. I'm 98% correct, but her opponent was fighting in the UFC because I had a look at this. It's mad. But she came to fight. A lot of stuff that slipped under the radar for me that people didn't mention enough is just her friends boxing in that fight as well, showing the experience that she's got for the age. Just turned 20, I believe. So she's showing the experience that she's got for the age. She'll go on. I am convinced that she'll become a world champion. But do you know what it is? It's a bias for me, because not even just because like they've shown me a lot of love on my channels and stuff like that, but it's genuinely I enjoy watching her box. And I'd be honest with you, like there's a few, like I've got favourite boxers and stuff, and there's people that I want to see just do really well, and she's one of them. Do you know what I mean? So I'm impressed with her. Great win. And hopefully now they can start lifting her up on the cards and getting her some pay-per-view in, because it's needed. It's necessary.
I mean, there was a tough opponent. I mean, I agree with the world champion part. I don't see how that doesn't happen, because unless there's some girl at Super Bantam that's just like, I don't know, it would take something pretty special, because we're talking about one of Britain's best prospects.
Yeah.
So I especially at 20 years old, it's hard to see a world where she doesn't get to that level. Obviously, it's a case of she can't believe that herself and has to keep working hard. But I don't see that stopping either. So but that was a really good win. That's the first time I've watched her in, because that's the first time she's been in there with someone that the last fight was tough because the girl was technically very sound and knew what she was doing. But I've got a box rec open. I can't remember. Right, Norek, that's the one. Norek was tough, knew what she was doing, but Norek was never going to win that fight. Maria's the girl she fought last week, wanted it. She wanted to win. She came in 5-0. She wanted that win. And actually, Francesca Hennessy looked a lot better against her. I mean, according to the scorecard, she wins more rounds against Maria's than she did against Norek. And I think that's, it's impressive. It's impressive. But I think the reason it's not been spoken about as much is because of the main event also having a British prospect that performed really just as well, but just on a bigger stage. So let's talk about, where should we go next? Let's talk about Anthony Yard.
Having some very technical issues tonight, but we're here. Sorry, man.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I mean, we've got Jamie TKV knocked out Franklin Ignatius, which is what we kind of we spoke about it as we need to see a better win from him. It's a start, but we still don't know how good Franklin was.
I think he's a good boxer. The issue is he's in a division where it's very competitive, and I just
Yeah.
don't know what direction Boxer are pulling with him at the moment, and what fights are potentially there. If you're talking about the guys in and around his level for the progression he's making, he's in there with some tough operators. You're talking about guys like Johnny Fisher, who's only an English heavyweight champion. He's not British yet. Moses Atuma. Do you know what I mean? These are the guys that he's going to come up against. So I really, really am trying to see where he goes.
It's hard to see where he fits in with it.
Yeah,
especially when you got
I think he's good. He had a tough fight with a cut as well, which was on the fight before the Buatsi and Aziz card, where it was a stoppage because of the cut. I remember speaking to him at the press conference and was talking to him about it, and he seemed to kind of be positive on that, and he got a win. He got on a comeback fight from that, and then obviously he's had this, which is a good fight for him. Needed it in terms of the way he done it. I'm just interested to see where he goes next. Because to be honest with you, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I don't know what Boxer are angling with him.
No, and you're right though, because if we look at, we were talking about this last week. If you look at sort of where debuts are, and sort of roughly, if you look at like Matchroom's prospect heavyweight, Queensbury's prospect heavyweight, and boxers, Queensbury have got Moses Atuma or Atama, whatever. He is like a whole different level, right? We know that his amateur record's insane, and he can punch. Yeah. So when he's going to go, well, he's fighting Dempsey McKean, who's lost once to Hrgovic. So that's the level he's at. Johnny Fisher's going to take a little bit longer, but Fisher's now fighting David Allen. And it's a bit of a statement win if he can just maul him over. I really like David Allen as well, but if Johnny Fisher can just win that by knockout, and then it's like, yeah, this is my level.
Yeah.
Jamie seems to be falling quite a bit far behind.
Yes.
And it's not his fault. It's potentially not Boxer's fault, but you kind of have to put it on the promotion. Because when you look at what Queensbury and Matchroom are doing for their guys, it's a bit, But we don't know the level of them. But he won. That's important, and he got a knockout win, which is also important because as a heavyweight, he knockout-wise is a little bit. What is that? Second one of his career, 6-2. Oh, 7-4. Oh, 4. What? Oh, he had the streak at the start of his career. Oh, well. Okay, I'm chatting shit. He's fine. Do what you want. But yeah, I mean, we'll move on from that because it's not the best. We've got Anthony Yard, Ralph Vilkans. Obviously, Yard puts him down in about 20 seconds, and then it's 10 rounds of a decent fight. But I thought Yard looks all right. He looked good enough. Vilkans is probably a tougher opponent than maybe he expected. Definitely tougher than I thought he'd be.
Yeah.
And Yard, potentially, had he been a little bit used his head a bit more, could have maybe finished him, but Vilkans was still there, still a bit dangerous, so it was a tougher fight. Yard could definitely go and fight Buatsi next, and it would make sense. And I mean, that's the fight they're talking about now again. So just have to hope that happens. But
gonna have to get. Well, I'm just grabbing my tripod, Connor, because I think I'm gonna have to switch. Sorry.
That's all right. No, that's fine. I'm going to talk about Yard and Buatsi then. Yard Buatsi, based on last performances, I think Buatsi, based on general watching them, I'm going to go Yard. But Yard Buatsi's close. I don't know. I want it to happen because it should. For me, that is a 50-50. But it's tough because Yard's still not really recovered from the Beterbiev loss. If we look at who he's fought Jorge Silva, who's 23 and 15.
Yeah.
And you won that by knockout in the second round.
Do you know what it is with Yard? I'll be honest with you. Yeah, the problem is he's having these tune-up fights, but I need to just see now. I'll be honest with you. I need to see Buatsi and Yard. I just don't think there's any more fights that you can make for him that make sense other than the Buatsi and Yard fight.
Well, this is the problem with Yard at the moment. The only problem I'm having is in the run-up to the Beterbiev fight, his fight with Beterbiev, which was absolutely brilliant. He fought Lyndon Arthur in the rematch and knocked him out in round 4 and looked brilliant. He fought Stephanie Koikov, who was 14-1. We don't really know just how good Koikov was, but he knocked him out in round 3. Then he fought Beterbiev. He got knocked out, but it's Beterbiev. Like we've seen Beterbiev. It's a whole different level. We don't expect Yard to get there. Then he's fought Jorge Silva. Right, he's taken a little comeback fight. Fair enough. 23-15, maybe a little bit too easy, but okay. Then he's fought Marko Nikolic, who's 32-3. Don't mind that fight, but knocked him out in 3 rounds. Ralph Svilkan's actually given him 10 rounds. That's the first time since his loss to Lyndon Arthur that he's done 10 rounds in a fight. He's either 8 rounds with Beterbiev. Before that, the most he'd done is 4. So actually, it might be a good thing that he's done these 10 rounds. It's just a slight concern for me as to whether or not Boatsy looked more comfortable against Hutchinson for me.
But Boatsy's fought a much higher level. You compare the last fights, Hutchinson, and the new Yard.
It'd be interesting to see.
Comparison, really.
No, it's a weird fight that now, but it's the fight that makes sense because the light heavyweight belts are tied up, and well, realistically, will be until the rematch. I mean, maybe an IBF goes loose, but that's because they're just being shit.
It's a weird one, man. Like Yard and Boatsy, I think. It's just a fight we need to see, but I just don't know. Boatsy's targeting world titles.
Yeah,
he's an interim champion as well, isn't he? So
he is for the WBO, but they're not going to make him mandatory just yet. He's going to have to wait. I mean, like that's tough.
Yeah.
I don't see him getting that fight till late 2025, and he's not going to be able to just sit on it. So really, the Yard fight makes sense, but listen, the thing we can talk about Yard Boatsy, we can talk about every single week. It's always happening to some extent, and then not happening the next week. So let's move on to Dan Aziz Lewis Edmondson, which I scored differently. I thought Dan Aziz won.
Yeah,
I did think I thought it was close. But I did have Dan Aziz winning. Especially with the point deduction for Edmondson. I really don't understand how Edmondson could have won.
I'm failing to see how anyone said that Dan Aziz didn't win that personally.
Yeah. Especially with the points deduction. It was close. Like Aziz was not he wasn't the Aziz that we saw in the Boatsy fight and the fights coming up to that where he was active, he was brilliant in that fight. And I know he lost, but he was brilliant. He wasn't that level, but with a points deduction included, I really don't see how that can be a loss. I'm still struggling to see that. And the problem is now Aziz has got 2 losses and 1 draw in his last 3.
Yeah,
which looks quite bad, even though when you actually think about it, there's 1 loss to Boatsy that he fought well in. He actually did. He fought well.
Ignore that. Sorry, Rob.
That's fine. And then there's the draw, which is okay. And then
take me out of that. Take my phone one out. It's just an emergency, just in case. There we go. Yeah.
Okay. And then Edmondson, which is a loss again, but I don't know. And I really don't like it. There's no way of getting around it. I actually hate that. I really like Dan Aziz, and I don't think he lost.
I don't know where Edmondson's coming out and just sort of now he's calling out some.
He's been a bit of a loudmouth. I mean,
he's calling out. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's the fights, the people he's been calling out. It's mental, isn't it? You see him after the fight.
Yeah, he was going for Boatsy. Boatsy would do him in. It's weird as well because I liked Edmondson in the build-up to the fight. I thought he came across all right, but then afterwards, I think it's that element of he won a hard fight, and like because he had to work really hard for it. But his corner were telling him you have to go in there and knock him out in the final round. Like it's a bit like the Beterbiev Bivol fight where Beterbiev was being told go and you need to knock him out in round 11 and 12. And then Beterbiev didn't. And then he didn't celebrate after the fight. That's a bit different because that was a close fight. But for me, Aziz won a lot of rounds and Edmondson got a points deduction. I really don't get it. Yeah, I wasn't happy with that as well. It was also weird that was after the main event. I'm not a fan of that, but that's sort of...
All in all, though, obviously we're going to talk about Azim as well, but the card was a good card overall.
Yeah,
I thought.
Yeah, it was. A really good card. Just that one fight almost lets it down because I thought Davies did win. Let's go to the main event because we do need to talk about other stuff. Although, let's go to the main event. Adam Azim, Ahara Davies. In terms of a win, how much are we rating it?
It's a step up. It's a step up against an experienced opponent.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but Ahara Davies was, and I say this very cautiously, he's not the same Ahara Davies that I watched growing up. But
no,
he's seen a lot in boxing. He's been done over in boxing by multiple times. He's been advised the wrong things by people. He's dealt with a lot. And I think that showed in just the Ahara Davies you see now. The Ahara Davies, if you get the Ahara Davies that was there even like 10 years ago, that's a tough night for Azim. Do you know what I mean? His hindsight's a wonderful thing. But I was always confident that he was going to win it. Azim. And I think if you compare it to his previous opponents, it is a step up just because of where Ahara Davies has been. But, now we're talking about he needs to build, and push forward. But there's limited fights out there for him now that he might be forced to take.
Well, there's the one big fight that I want to see because I think it does make sense, which is Dalton Smith.
But it's too early for that, though, for him. I'd even say for Azim, he's not fought the level that Dalton's fought in the slightest. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
So it's like, I get what people are saying. It is a massive fight. But is that really a sensible, from a business point of view, is that sensible for his promoter to stick him in there in that fight next? It's not as experienced.
No. From a business point of view, makes no sense at all. My view on it is that Ahara Davies recently fought for a world title. And he got knocked out in round 1. But Ahara Davies was that level and was the favourite in that title fight. And it's one of those... I really hate that fight because I really like Ahara Davies. And I really wish that he didn't get hit by that punch because I think he would have won that fight. And then we'd be talking about a world champion. So my view on it is Adam Azim has just, for 8 rounds, won every round against that level.
Yeah.
Dalton Smith's best win is Jose Zepeda. I want to say.
Yeah.
I really think it's a tough fight. Also, it's one of those fights where Azim will have to step up.
Yeah, Zepeda's a name that Connor loves to mention.
I like William Zepeda. I think he's...
Listen.
Although at the moment, he's not taking his bloody fight, so he needs to start doing that.
Look, Dalton Smith is a fight that can happen. I just don't know how soon it is. I mean, realistically, who is Azim going to fight next?
Well, that's the thing, right? So let's look at in super light rankings. Adam Azim is now ranked number 12. This is BoxRec, so it's not the most accurate thing in the world. But Adam Azim is number 12 in the world. For context, Jack Catterall is number 9. Dalton Smith is number 18, which is why you can't really take these two seriously because Adam Azim and Jack Catterall shouldn't really be that close. But the division's packed. Adam Azim is now now classified as a 5-star fighter on BoxRec. That's crazy. 12 of them now. I don't know how that doesn't make sense.
Do you know what though? I'll be totally honest with you because Azim's obviously someone else that I've spoken to as well, and he's very level-headed. I do believe that you are Whitney. He's a very good boxer, and I think he will, however long it takes, and it might be fast-tracked because of his ability, and that's I think what some people are doubting, where he might not have had the level of opposition in the past there that matches it. We kind of need to see him put in there with somebody now who's. I don't want to say that Ben's protecting him because, but I feel like obviously because he was kind of brought up as a young fighter, graduating from that academy of fighters for boxers like stars.
Yeah.
You know, I think now he's past that. So now it's like get him in there with people who are going to who are going to challenge him. But there's only so many of those fights you can take before you've got to fight world level. So, Dalton fight does make sense. I think we need to see it next year. I just don't think it's the next fight.
No, I mean, it's definitely not the next fight. But I don't. Look, they're both trying to make money. They're both headlining now. It makes sense, really. I'm looking at it now. I mean, Sandor Martin's an option, but that's a massive step up. He's underrated as fuck. People forget. People forget just how good he is. But yeah, listen. Well, look, super lightweight is tough. 140 pounds is some of the best fighters in the world. So he can take his time. And like you say, it's not Ben. I don't think Ben Shalom's protecting him. He's 11 fights into his pro career.
Exactly.
And he's 22 years old. It's not. He doesn't need.
This is the other thing as well. People realise is he's 22 years old.
Yeah. Oh, slight technical problem.
Good. Connor, you with me?
Yeah, I think you've lagged out a little bit. Might be right now. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Cool.
Tiny bit. Was a little bit laggy there, but fine. Oh, we're back.
All right. Add me on my phone. I'm going to join on that. And kick me out of the other one.
Remove that. Okay.
All good?
Yeah, that's better. Right. Yeah. So it's not Ben Shalom protecting anything like that. It's purely Azim's 22. He's 11-0. Dalton Smith is 27 and 16-0. Dalton Smith probably time-wise should be looking at those step-ups now. Azim really doesn't need to, but equally, I'd like to see it. So that's just, that basically means nothing. I'm on the fence. Right, now we're actually going to react to some stuff because we didn't really mention it last week, but Tszyu was fighting, hold on, Mutsaliev for the IBF 154-pound title. And he was the big favourite because, well, Tszyu, big name.
Yeah.
Kind of goes to show that sometimes watching people before you fight them is helpful because we're going to watch this. Let's switch over to the old this and then share the screen. Oh my god, we've not done this in a while. Oh, it still works. Beautiful. Right, so this is Tszyu. Really didn't expect this to happen, but let me get the audio on as well.
Unload the right hand.
It looks lethal. Can't stop getting knocked down.
Shot. It's not looking good for him,
No.
There's a right hand by Tszyu.
He look. Do you know what? I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but he looks like a shell of what he was.
It's weird. I didn't think the Fundora fight would have affected him quite as much.
Come back to me.
Because it was just a cut, and he actually fought well in that fight. He just, like I said, it was just a cut, but
we talked about the volume style of the champion. He's showing
just could not deal with Mutsaliev. He could not deal with it at all. And knocked down 6 times. Let's watch the final one now because I don't know just how much we are actually allowed to watch before we get all sorts of issues. But he's look at him. He's on shaky legs. He just
Tao's gone in.
Yeah, Tao went in. That's how it feels. But he was all over the place. Like, don't get me wrong. The guy Tszyu would keep fighting. He will never stop fighting. He's one of those. But that's kind of it's a weird one. That wasn't expecting that. I mean, we didn't even mention it because I kind of forgot about it as a fight, which is funny enough. But that's what happens when you don't get on with Turkey Al Sheikh. Only fighter that's not done business with him.
Can you hear me? Yeah, everything clear?
Yeah, yes, a lot clearer actually. I got a little.
I've got a mic on. That's why.
One of those mics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really professional now. But yeah, Tszyu loses again twice in a row. He just can't defend properly. I'm sorry, his defense is rubbish. Like we can't watch the whole fight, but yeah, it's not good enough. I don't really know where he can go from here either.
Mm-hmm. He should have taken that fight with. He should have taken Turkey's offer up, man. Because
yeah,
he did it.
Although do you not think he'd be fighting Virgil Ortiz if it was the Virgil Ortiz fight would have been the one he would have taken.
Yeah.
And Virgil Ortiz Jr. I think would potentially have hurt him a lot worse than that.
Yeah, 100%.
Do
you know what? Do you know what's mad as well? Yeah, when you actually think about it, though, like in terms of I'm talking about now the business side of things. He could have had massive paydays with Turkey, you know.
Oh yeah.
If even if he was on his way out, he should have took that deal. Because now he's struggling to get on that show. Turkey ain't gonna want him now.
No. He's it's just a tough fight. Like the Fundora one was really unlucky. I mean, this one knocked down 3 times in round 2.
Yeah.
Once in round 3, and then the fight was over. I thought it was 6 times total, but clearly that's wrong. My bad. Knocked out in 3 rounds by a guy that you're meant to be beating that's incredible. But listen, we're just mentioning that because I think that's important to bring up. But realistically, we'll do Catterall Prograis next. We'll do Fury Usyk. So what better way to start? We're going to go back into the presenting mode because
I love this, Connor.
Yeah, I quite like this.
It's like watching This Morning Britain.
So we're back here for Hitman.
He shaved his whole head for this, you know. Money's really paying him.
And they didn't do the cool intro, but there we go. Look at Hitman. Yeah. I mean, there's various bits. I mean, Usyk brings like a photo of him. There we go. Of himself punching Fury. That's being signed by Fury. Mind games, but also it's going to charity, being auctioned off. So it's quite nice that, I guess, overall. But
yes.
Reason for bringing that was purely Usyk dressed as Hitman was kind of cool news.
Yeah.
Fury hates the IBF, which is fair enough.
Have you got that clip?
I can get that clip. You talk about
let me talk about it for a minute. Yeah. Whilst you're doing that, yeah, the IBF Fury was digging up the IBF today massively because they don't rank him in his top 15, which is mental, by the way. I will be the first to say it. Don't get me wrong. Tyson Fury is not in the IBF's top 15. What is going on right now? I think we need the UFC model in place now because these belts are getting stupid.
This is the thing. I quite like the multiple belts on paper because I think it looks cool when they're holding them all and all this shit, and you get like a few But I hate it when you're getting mandatories that fuck up the actual best in the division having the belts. Right now, Canelo is no longer undisputed. Instead, we've got William Skull, who I'd heard of. Had I even heard of him? He was on the undercard of an event once, but I never watched him. He's now IBF World Champion. I don't think anybody knows that. That shouldn't be the case.
But
I've got the clip, but I can't find the.
This is the problem. This is the problem, Connor. Yeah, when we actually talk about this, because let's actually talk about this for a minute. Tyson Fury is not in the top 15 IBF. Yeah. Now, IBF rankings for heavyweight. Yeah, we pull that up. Who is in front of him? Because it's mad. Like, I'm just having a look now. The footage of. Yeah. We go. There we go. Heavy.
I've got it up.
I've got it up as well. Go on. So we've got
champion, obviously Dubois, and then let's go They haven't even got a 1 and 2 yet. They don't even have a 1 and 2.
Yeah, we're
Doesn't make
talking. We're talking at number 3, Caballero, 4, Bacoli, 5, Zhang,
Yeah.
6, Sanchez, 7, Ajagba, Joshua at number 8. He's moved down 5 places.
Yeah.
Hergovic at number 9, Derek Chisora at number 10. Derek Chisora is above Tyson Fury in the heavyweight IBF rankings. Yeah, let's carry on. Otto Warling number 12, Wardley. Otto Warling 11, Wardley 12.
Oh, yeah.
Jared Anderson is above Tyson Fury in the heavyweight IBF rankings. Number 14, Vinello. Yeah, from Italy, and Honey from, if I've pronounced that right, from I think.
Oh yeah, Justice Hooney. Yeah.
Justice Hooney from New Zealand. Derek Chisora is above Tyson Fury in the heavyweight IBF rankings. Sanchez is above him. It's mental. Zhang is above Tyson Fury in the. I don't know how many times I've got to say it, Connor.
It's ridiculous. I mean, if we go through this, right, Kabyle deserves to be up there. He's won. He's not lost yet. He's
up there, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
But
He's not above
Tyson Fury. Yeah,
he's not above Fury. Bacoli, brilliant win against Anderson, not above Fury. Shouldn't be. Zhang lost to Parker. Where's Joseph Parker, by the way?
Joseph Parker's not there. He's not around no more. It's not around.
Joseph Parker's not on the list. Like, this is the problem with boxing. We've got a ranking system. I don't mind having the individual belts. It gives it that extra element when you go 2 world champions fighting. That's brilliant. Bivol Batavian is the perfect example. The problem is when you've got Zhile Zhang, whose best win is Wilder, who got flattened by Fury, sat at number 5 in the IBF rankings with the spot of 1 and 2 not even having people in them. So what's the point in that? Like, it just looks messy. And this was updated on the 10th of October. You got Tyson Fury, who was lineal heavyweight champion of the world, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, who lost to Usyk, the best heavyweight going at the moment, and he's not on the rankings. Joshua, who, all right, I can understand he got dropped a few places because his loss to Dubois was a tough loss, but below F.A. Ajagba. No. Ajagba seemed like a nice guy, by the way. He's a good heavyweight, but Ajagba's biggest moment is when he got in the ring and his opponent walked out before the fight started. That is Ajagba's viral moment. We're not talking about a top heavyweight just yet. He could get there, but we're not talking about that. Hergovic lost to Dubois. Chisora, like, I love Derek Chisora, but that's a joke. Wardley should be up there, but 12th makes sense. Like, some of them are fine, but it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I've found the clip, but I can't find the actual moment.
What? Can I just go back? I want to go back to this though, because we are talking, and I mean this in the most respectful way. Who's Vianello?
Yeah, no, I have no idea. Never heard of him. Let's have a look at his record.
Can't sit here. Listen, don't tell me this. Vianello is 13 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss.
All right, he lost to Ajagba over a split decision. Oh, he beat Magmadov. He's that guy. But Magmadov's... Yeah, okay. Right. Magmadov's gone from the scariest man alive to a very meh.
No, I still wouldn't want to meet him down the street.
I wouldn't want to meet him. I mean, he looks scary, doesn't he? But
I'm failing to see, because it's madness. The IBF are doing a madness, because this isn't the only weight this is happening at as well. Do you know Dmitry Bivol's not in the top 15 IBF IBF light heavyweight rankings?
Really?
I swear to God. Let me do a Sam. Let me do Mr. Sam. My right hand. What do you say? For God. That one. Yeah, Sam.
Oh my God. The light heavyweight's even more annoying. Michael Efart, Connor Wallace, then Anthony Yard, Albert Ramirez, Ali Ismailov, Malik Zinad, Imam Katiev, Lyndon
I like
Arthur,
Malik
Callum
Zinad,
Smith.
though. I like Malik Zinad.
I like Malik Zinad. Jerome Pampalone, Vasily Votsesovsky, Dan Aziz at 12, Willie Hutchinson at 13, Juan Carrillo at 14, 15 is Sharabuddin Atayev. Light heavyweight is one of the most competitive divisions that we've seen, and I could name quite a few light heavyweights that are like some of the top fighters in the world, and not many of them appear on that list. That's nuts.
What's even mad is currently now, as we speak, Dmitry Bivol is unranked by the WBO, unranked by the IBF, unranked by the WBA, world ranked number 1 for the WBC, and number 1 for the ring.
Yeah, that's the worst part. The WBC are normally the worst governing body, but they actually do that part of it better.
They do that job right. Let's although they just. And then, but in another feat, they give Pacquiao a title shot. But listen, that's a conversation for another day. If I just quickly, whilst we are talking about the IBF and Fury and everything else, so Tyson Fury is ring number 1, WBO ranked number 1, WBC ranked number 1, WBA ranked number 2, IBF he's unranked. Do you know what? Bring in the UFC model. I've had enough. Bring in the UFC model. One belt, one.
If the UFC model clears it up, which it would, then yeah, I'm up for it. And it's a shame as well because, like I said, I like having multiple belts, but it doesn't work.
Do you know what? I want my people there, Fran Hennessy's and that, to become undisputed. I hear it. Hope they do. Yeah. But at the same time, these governing bodies are making a joke of boxing and for what the fighters put into it and what they do and what they and just where they've gone. It's all sanctioning fees, it's all money, and they're all a bit. They're all. Do you know what I'm going to call them? Real life Del Boys, Del Boy trotters.
Yeah, that's good though. Yeah. Swindlers.
IBF is a real life Del Boy trotter. But if anyone can justify to me why Tyson Fury is not in the IBF top 15. And we can get 100 people to agree with that person. I'll come on here looking like Hitman.
Yeah. Oh.
And tongue in cheek. Don't just do it because you want to see me look bold. Like I'm saying to you, you will not get 100 people that can give you a valid reason to why Tyson Fury is not in the top 15 at the IBF rankings. That is a crooked organisation. I thought at first, respectfully. I thought, they're getting into it. They're stripping off people that aren't defending their belts. Respect it massively.
Yeah, because they started doing that Joe Cordina, and it made sense.
Yeah.
I didn't like the decision, but that was like, okay, fair enough. Then they've gone crazy with it, moving people out of the rankings, stripping people.
So do you know what's mad? Yeah, let's just for a second. I need to check something for my sanity whilst we're on this. I know we've got a lot to talk about, but I need to check one thing. Give me a second. Yeah, Alexander Usyk. If he's not there, I'm.
Shit! That's a good point. I didn't see him.
I'm chinning someone.
He wasn't on there. I swear. He's not.
Alexander Usyk is not in the top 15 IBF rankings.
That's such a good point. Yeah, that's why number 1 and 2 aren't there.
These belts mean nothing, man. These belts mean nothing. Bring in Turkey Al-Sheikh's model. I'm all here for it. I've had enough.
Yeah. If you could just make that undisputed belt look a little bit cooler, because it looks a bit tacky. It was like the WWE belt, but make that look cooler, and I'm all for it.
Bring in the league table. That's what we need now.
Because apparently Guido Vianello is better than Usyk, and Derek Chisora is better than Usyk. Ajagba's better than Usyk. Actually, I could just name them all because.
Do you want to know what makes it worse? Yeah, you've got this. Yeah, so you've got the governing bodies doing this, and then at amateur level, you've also got the potential of us not seeing boxing at the Olympics again, thus taking away the gold medals for boxers. So now we've potentially got crooked organisations, no gold medals for boxers, aspiring boxers to win the gold or silver or bronze at the Olympics. Bringing this Turkey, hurry up! Come on. We need it.
He's actually the guy though, because no, genuinely, these organisations need to leave. They need to stop because this is ridiculous. You can't sit here. I mean, we can go through the IBF rankings over and over, but they're all bad. They've all got. It's also not hard. Me and Paolo could come up with a ranking system. We could rank the top 15 heavyweights for you right now. We're not going to because there's no need, but we could. And I reckon 99% of people would at least agree with the 15 fighters we've put in. And okay, you might say that our number 7 should be so-and-so and number 12 should be higher up. But you're not. There's 15 of the best.
We're going to do... Do you know what? We're going to do a CPF rankings heavyweight.
CPF rankings.
CPF rankings. It's called Fuck the IBF. We're doing a CPF rankings. That will be on our Instagrams on Sunday. CPF rankings.
Okay, we'll do it. No, I like that. And also, I mean, these are the IBF's annoying. I'm closing that tab. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Besides that, Tyson Fury just hates the IBF. Fair enough. Usyk's probably not their biggest fan either. Fair enough.
Tyson Fury said, "I'd rather fight for fight Joshua for a British title than an IBF title." I hear it.
I like that, by the way. I mean, I know that doesn't live up to it, but I love the British title.
I would love the British. If you're doing an all British bout for Joshua and Fury, they need to make a like for like British title. And that's what they should fight for. Do you know what? We're in the realm of just making belts now. We're in that world now. But so we just make a British belt. Just make a British belt. I made them easy enough when I was a kid. I cut them out of cereal boxes, use them as wrestling belts. I made them easy enough.
Exactly. We'll just throw it in the ring at the end. Easy.
Yeah, that's it.
But they had the press conference because we need to talk about the other stuff as well. They had the press conference. Fury and Usyk on top form as usual, like Usyk doing the hitman stuff. Fury tickling Usyk. Fury seems fully recovered from the loss, by the way. Like he seems back to his normal, which is good. Obviously, Fury's there saying that the first fight was a complete fluke and he's better than Usyk. Usyk's not the best guy he's ever fought. We know that's not true. Usyk is the best guy Fury's fought, but equally Usyk is on there saying that he's not got motivation anymore. He just is in regiment. That's not true. Usyk wants to beat Fury. So they're both kind of actually really similar, but they just do it in their own way. And then on the undercard, you got Moses Atalma and Dempsey McKean, who it's actually quite a respectful undercard apart from Dennis McCann and Peter McGrail, who really don't like each other. So that should be a really good fight. Or disappointing, but Dennis McCann's normally in good fights. So
yeah, I like Dennis McCann.
And also got Johnny Fisher and Moses.
He's had them tough fights as well, Dennis McCann, like early doors in his career. Tough fight.
It's going to take Peter McGrail to do something pretty special to beat him because McCann's done a lot already. He's been to the doghouse. Yeah. And he's gone back for more and then done him in. So
some people don't leave the doghouse, man.
No, but it's I like Dennis McCann a lot. I like Peter McGrail as well. Peter McGrail's going to have to step up a massive amount. And we've got two young British heavyweights on there as well, in Johnny Fisher and Moses Atalma, who are very different stages of their career. But it's nice that everybody in that room was entertaining that fight for the future.
It is a fight that will happen down the line, but it's also a fight where they both respect each other. I actually commend the way Johnny Fisher is. And I like the way a lot of these heavyweights are. They're really demonstrating, obviously, look, each fight's to their own and not saying that it's all like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about how nice it is. They're all friends and all of this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he's a very respectful fighter. He's gone out and got the experience, more than importantly, sparring in different countries, sparring with top level opponents. Johnny Fisher, he's improving. He used to spar David Allen, obviously, as a young kid.
And he's very honest about saying that Dave Allen sparked him out quite a few times. I like that as well. Johnny Fisher's really likable.
Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen as well. We know what we get with him. I actually respect him so much just for what he's done in boxing and what he's given us. He's given me some great nights of entertainment, especially the ones where people thought he was down and out and he won. That's what boxing's all about. Them kind of fights where you capture not just the boxing purists but the casuals. And I think David Allen's good at doing that. He wins over massive crowds. He's not had the easiest of lives within boxing. He struggled a lot with mental health and everything else, and I know that can play a massive part when you're in training camps, but he looks like he's in a good place at the moment. I say looks, we don't want to assume, but he looks like he's in a good place.
Yeah, he seems to be. His big thing is losing the weight. That's always been his issue. I think he's always said that the boxing part is easy. It's the running and the dieting that he can't. He's always struggling.
He's a great boxing coach as well.
Yeah, Joe. He's got a fight with Joe Hayden, who I seriously think is a really good prospect for Britain. Not the biggest ticket seller, but he'll get there. He fights on the GBM sports cards. He's really good. Worth a watch. He's good. He's one of those. He not the most powerful, but he's good to watch. The way he fights he's active enough. It's really good to watch. But yeah, likable guys on the undercard. Obviously, when we get to fight week, he'll be a bit more, but it's good. It's good level of test, and it does show you as well with the level of opponents they're fighting, Johnny Fisher and Moses Talma, where they're at and why. That if they both win these fights, it doesn't make sense for them to get in the ring after. Johnny Fisher's way behind Talma. He could get there, but he's way behind right now.
Yeah,
and that's not a criticism either. It's going to take time. But the main thing for this week, and it's taken 56 minutes to get to, is Jack Catterall versus Regis Prograis fight week. Took a while to get to. I mean, we've got the big clip, which we're going to play in a second. Obviously, they had a press conference today. They've got the weigh-in tomorrow, fight on Saturday. It's a great fight, but let's just get into the clip because realistically, that is the part that I've been dying to watch again, and I know you have as well, Paolo. So
I sent that to you as soon as I saw it.
Yeah. Right.
Hear it. I got proof. You said flatten them. Right hand to God. Never said that. Listen, you've been hitting the head too much by
So bad.
Pause it for a second. Yeah, can I just clarify to the people? A man said right hand to God. God, please strike that hand down. Take it away from him. Give it to somebody who needs it more. Yeah. There are people walking around with one hand and he's out here just flogging his limbs out for auction to the higher beings.
Oh, it's bad.
Take it. Lord, take it.
Bad.
Go on, sorry, carry on.
Let's listen.
But I do think you're flattening. You understand what I mean? Because you're a different guy to Josh Taylor. Jack wants to I think your dad was like,
I know when that was. I know when that was. Want to do it again? Wait, hold on.
We just need to hear it one more time.
I know when that was.
Hold on.
I know when that was. Regis, I've got some messages of you, so just think very carefully before you play that next one.
I know him very well, but I do think I like Jack, by the way. I know him very well, but I do think you're flattening.
This is before I knew Jack.
It's a bad look. It's a really bad look.
It's a big L for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a big L for him.
Can't have your manager coming out.
Do you know what? Do you know what's mad, Jack? Even if he did, because he said that when he didn't obviously represent Jack and stuff like that, it's still not good though. You want people around you that are going to believe you, especially your manager. You know, your manager isn't somebody like that should ever, you know, if that was his opinion then, yeah, and you look at the level of opposition that Regis Prograis has been in the ring with, why would your opinion change now? Because you're managing him. That's the only reason. But you don't inside of yourself, you cannot believe after us seeing that or convince anyone that you believe he's going to win.
I know, and this is the problem. So this is the like. I mean, besides the fact, I mean, it's quite funny and it's a good clip, like just in general. What does that do to Jack Catterall? Because Sam Jones is one of the most outspoken managers there is.
Can you still hear me clearly? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's still good. Sam Jones he's active. He's probably one of the most well-known managers in boxing because he's so opinionated. And then Jack Catterall's manager's now saying this not that long, like 3 years is not that long.
Here's the problem as well, yeah. And historically, he's done it for a long time. Sam's been really good at speaking to for Jack and stuff like that in fights, which I think he needs because I think Jack's a great fighter. I just don't think he's the biggest speaker.
No.
But I do, having said that, think it's not a good look. It's not a good look for him, to say the least. I don't think as close to fight week, I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to cause a rift afterwards, but I don't think anything will be done till afterwards. That is a massive L, though. Like, for me, I'll be honest with you, yeah? Can I be honest with you? If I am a manager now, or specifically that, anyone that I like or believe or have a personal interaction or connection with on any level, it's just an unwritten rule that you have to believe that they're going to win every single fight, even if they're not going to win it.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't got your manager there to back you, who you got?
It's weird. I feel for Catterall though, because hopefully he can take it with a sense of humor, but in fight week that's tough. I honestly, it shouldn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if this in a way sways the fight, because it's a 50-50 fight, right? Prograis is a better boxer than he gets credit for. Devin Haney outdid him completely, but he was really close with the Josh Taylor that went undisputed and unified. Catterall is brilliant. We still don't know just how good Catterall is.
Yeah.
But for me, it's 50-50 because Catterall doesn't.
I really like Catterall as a boxer, by the way. I really like Catterall.
Same.
Yeah, I don't know. He's become. Do you know what? I would say this. Yeah, obviously, I knew he's always been, I thought, a good boxer, but it's solidified it for me, especially after not 2, but Josh Taylor 1.
Yeah.
When he should have been walking out undisputed. Should.
Yeah.
Regis Prograis is a difficult fight for him as well.
It's a tough fight. Prograis is a hard fight for anyone. To me, it's got to be one of Devin Haney's best wins by quite a. It might be his best win, because he absolutely outdid Prograis. I'm saying a lot because Haney's got some brilliant wins, and Haney completely outboxed Prograis, dropped him in a new division as the challenger. That was the best Haney we've seen. Catterall is not, well, I don't think is Haney level. So let's see. But I'm excited. But this great for promotion, this clip, but could actually really fuck with Jack Catterall.
Yeah.
I'm potentially going with the upset now. I might go Prograis to win.
But I don't know. I'm still swinging. I'm swinging towards a split decision, Catterall.
Okay. Did Josh Taylor beat Prograis by split decision, right? Was it mixed? It was split. It was Taylor beat him by mixed decision.
Yeah.
It's similar.
It's going to be a hard fight, but I think anything outside of Prograis getting a knockout is going to be difficult for him to get the result, I think.
True. I do think Catterall can outbox him, but I think Prograis can drop him.
Yeah.
And then on the undercard, we've got some good fighters as well, but we've got some good fighters.
It's an exciting lead up to Christmas again, Connor, for boxing.
It is. We've got some really good fights. I mean, Christmas is a treat. We've got 21st, we've got Fury Usyk rematch. 24th, we've got Noe fighting Sam Goodman, which it's not probably the most competitive, but technically Sam Goodman is meant to be.
I knew he's fighting. That's it. I knew he's fighting.
Yeah. That's all that really matters. We've got, what have we got left in between them? We've got Zerdo Billum Smith. We've got Catterall Prograis this week. Liam Davis fights next week, November 2nd.
Yeah.
November 9th, I want to say is. Is it? Oh, is November 9th. Bam Rodriguez and Jaron Ennis joint card. I get the feeling it might be.
Yeah. So yeah. Don't forget as well. Obviously, yeah. You've got that card. Regis Prograis is on there. There's shitloads. There's something for everyone to watch, I think.
Yeah, Bam Rodriguez, Jaron Ennis is the card I'm excited for.
Irrelevant, but not irrelevant. Fundora's sister is fighting.
Yeah, she's a world champion.
On the Schofield v. Hiron card. Got to see that
I don't
one.
think that's ever happened before, right?
Davies and Masood, that is a great card. Cameron's on it as well. Esserman's on it. And yeah, you're talking Davis and Lemos on the Friday the 8th of November. Americans love that Friday fight. Yeah. You're talking about there's pretty much when you actually could crack with it, depending on how much boxing you watch. I just scrolled down. Friday the 15th of November is Tyson and Jake Paul. On the undercard of that though is Katie Taylor and Serrano. That's a big fight.
Of course, I keep forgetting about that. Just completely forget about that. But
Eubank is fighting at the Walker Activity Dome, which is a potential opponent for Azim.
True. So that's actually we didn't mention that Harlem Eubank does. I like that fight.
Edwards in your fight on the 30th of November.
Edwards, your
Sonny
fight.
Edwards.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying to you, man. It goes on.
So, we've got Liam Paro versus Richardson Hitchens. Richardson Hitchens in Puerto Rico.
Javante Davis on the 14th of December and Roach.
Yes, and that's got Benavidez on the undercard. And then we got 21st Fury Usyk, 24th Inoue.
And that is all she wrote for 2024.
So have we got non-stop weeks then? We don't have a single week without a good fight.
Yeah, there's actually.
I love that.
Yeah. So much going on. I think it's good. Listen, look, that's what I'm saying to you, man. I think we need to do a couple of live streams for these. We need to pick and choose which one. I said Liam Davis and Masood, we're going to do one for that, hopefully. And then, like I said, for Fury and Usyk, the big one, Fury and Usyk, the big one, we're either going to be doing a live stream on our YouTube page or we will be live in the cave for Combat Kings. I need to speak to Greedy about it.
We are doing something either way for that, obviously. But
and more importantly as well, what I did want to mention to people whilst we're talking about this, I know it's getting confusing for people. Obviously, at the moment, we are doing joint streams for the podcast weekly show. We have made a big decision, so we need all of your support with this. When these pages are up and running, we will share all the socials, but we are creating a weekly boxing show. I don't know if we're going to call it we'll call it something, but weekly boxing show, Instagram page, YouTube, where we would directly be putting all of the content on there. Me and Connor, obviously, we still have our channels for anything else that we choose to do, but we will be doing this show every single week. 2025, every single week. And there's some great stuff coming up. Potentially, we've got a live Christmas show that we're planning at the moment. Ellis Zorro has confirmed that he will be coming on that as well.
That's huge.
So we've got Ellis Zorro on that. Hopefully, a couple of other guests figuring out logistics of it. So there's a lot planned, but the main important thing to do is the weekly boxing show will have a sole channel now where every week moving forward, we will be doing all of our content for this on there. So everyone has one link, one place to join, and you know where it's at.
Yeah. We potentially will be actually streaming onto that before 2025. It's just a case of sorting it out. So when it's like right now, we're still working on the branding and the, like I say, titles, all of it. But once that's sorted, we're moving it onto there, and it'll be easier for everybody to just subscribe to the one channel, watch one channel. And it means we can do more with the streams as well. We're less limited because at the moment we're a little bit limited in showing. It'll make it a lot better. Yeah. So we'll have one place. 2025 is going to be big. Players do play. I think that's everything. Right. Official prediction for Caterham Prograis. And then I think we can do the outro. So you're still 50-50, but you got to predict something. Can't do 50-50.
I'm going to go Caterham split decision.
You're going Catterall split decision. I'm gonna go Prograis. I'll go late stoppage, but I'm really unsure on that. It's just purely today's clip in the press conference has made me think potentially that will upset Catterall's mindset. Yeah, that is everything that's happened in boxing this week and everything that's coming up. So, Paolo, tell the people what they need to do.
Like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. The game's changed. Players play. But do it before you end up in the mud.
Yeah, deep. There we go.